So, I find myself, in between playing the market boards and making bad jokes to my friends in FC chat, thinking about, well, the thing that's been happening with Final Fantasy XIV lately, in that there's just been this really big glut of people from World of Warcraft coming over to play it. And, like, a bunch of those people, they've gone on to make videos about why they left World of Warcraft and came to play FF14. And, that's been really popular. And Final Fantasy XIV players have reacted really positively to it. And from there, it's kind of been snowballing and getting bigger and bigger. And now we're sitting in a place where really major World of Warcraft content creators, like people who pretty much have their livelihoods based around playing WoW, are coming to check this game out. And it's been just a big old kerfuffle. It's been a big deal. It has been a giant fuss. And there has been some fuss. It has not all been sunshine, roses, and fireworks and moogles. It's been really interesting. So, I guess I wanted to record my thoughts on the whole thing and work through a few reasons as to why this is going on. Like, just why is the Final Fantasy XIV community so dang wild for watching WoW players come to play it? So, number one, fun is contagious. Final Fantasy XIV is a pretty damn good time, and it's good in a way that inspires this enormous passion in people. There are a lot of people that just don't like Final Fantasy XIV. They love it. The precise reasons are just gonna be like their whole thing, so let's just leave it that it's the particular combo of story and music and accessible game systems and, cat people and stuff just really hits that sweet spot, right? And you know what? People do when they love something, they want to share it with their friends. They want to share it with their acquaintances. They want to reach out to those content creators in a parasocial sort of way, share it with them, They want to let them know about the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV that has a free trial up to level 60, including the Heavensward expansion. And, at the most pure and superficial, I think we really just want to invite everyone to this cool anime party. It is a very pure, raw, slightly embarrassing, sort of cult-like level of joy. Maybe we'll chill a little bit after Endwalker comes out, or maybe we'll all combust and ascend to another plane of existence from the sheer bliss. Either way, hey, can't wait for November. Right, well, number two, I think some people just didn't get over their bad breakup with World of Warcraft. A lot of Final Fantasy XIV players are ex-WoW players. And a lot of gamers in general are ex-WoW players. World of Warcraft at its peak had 12 million active subscribers, at least according to a quick jaunt over Wikipedia. There are an absolute buttload of people that have at least some knowledge of World of Warcraft. And just by sheer proportional numbers, there are plenty of people that quit World of Warcraft unhappily. The guild dissolved, gameplay changed displeased them, story sucked, community sucked worse. One way or another, there are people going around out there that were burned by WoW. Like, full disclosure, I'm one of those people. This is not the time, nor the place. Not specifically. We could be here a while. Don't want that. So, Final Fantasy XIV is generally World of Warcraft shaped. In that it's a hotbar MMO with parties and instance content and levels and things and stuff, but it's got a rich story with continuity. It's got robust systems that allow old content to be run rather than entirely obsoleted. It's got a broader content focus than on endgame rating. It's got a different philosophy to gearing and encounters and combat, which can be a positive or negative. And it's the version of WoW that a lot of people never really knew they wanted. I know that was my feeling when I found Final Fantasy XIV years ago. It's the new hotness, and WoW is old and busted, and sometimes it's just really damn cathartic to watch that crappy ex of yours have a bad time of it. And like World of Warcraft is right now having a really bad time of it. There is a huge content drought. No one knows quite when the next patch is going to hit, but and what's going to hit is probably going to be like fine at best. And it's not going to be exciting. It's not going to really win people back that have already felt lost from the recent Shadowlands expansion, which kind of sucks, really. And, I'm sure that some people's excitement in all of this is that, wow, look, their crappy ex is having a bad time. It's like just going poorly for them. It's like, finally, all these WoW people have realized that World of Warcraft is actually the worst. It is like just pure vindication. number 3, I think it's general internet tribalism is probably source of some of the trouble here. So you remember what I said about vindication? Vindication? Well, I think there's a lot of Final Fantasy XIV players that maybe never really gave a fart about World of Warcraft, but they definitely didn't care for people making fun of them playing a weeb game for weebs. You know? It's kind of a weeb game for weebs. I mean, look, let's take a second here. Let's be totally honest and change to some of the gear I've got. This is weeb game for weebs with maids and cat girls and cat boys and stuff. You know? And I kind of like that. But, you know, it's the internet. People are going to get cranky about that kind of thing. So now, the cat girl pretty princess dress up adventure game is critically acclaimed. Everyone likes it now. It is likely very gratifying for some that people that once dismissed this thing they liked as crappy and weird are turning around on it. Or at least people they perceive as having been representative of that attitude. Keep this in mind. Your average person making a "Why I Quit World of Warcraft for Final Fantasy XIV" video is probably a perfectly nice person that didn't spend their time hassling anime fans for their lunch money. There's a stereotype of the particular kind of gamer TM that plays World of Warcraft, though. And I think that's a little pleasure to be taken in winning over or convincing people that seem to be on that other team. But let's get real here. Final Fantasy XIV players and WoW players are fundamentally that different, and are often the exact same dang people, to be quite honest. You know, it's like video games, man. You play games. You like games. You can play all kinds of different games, depending on how much free time you've got. So, you know, it's like, I think it's important that we compare the two games and talk about them and critique them and have them take inspiration from each other even. It's well known that both of the dev teams for WoW and FF14, they communicate, they admire each other, they take ideas from each other. Yoshi P has very recently been interviewed stating that World of Warcraft was his inspiration and his signpost for the rebirth of A Realm Reborn. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a competition. It doesn't have to be a team sport. It's not those guys versus my guys. We're just all guys. So, you know, let's take it easy. Take it easy, guys. Hold hands. Hug it out. Let's just be cool. Don't be shitty to each other over a game of all the friggin' things. You know. Oh, yeah, and I'm gonna interrupt for a second here, just to make this really clear. If you're one of those Final Fantasy XIV players wringing your hands and stomping your feet about how those nasty toxic WoW people are going to ruin Yoshi P's cool fantasy land, just not going to name any people in particular. You can probably draw your own conclusions if you're at all familiar with the people in the conversation in question, but knock it off, would you? Like, don't go around proclaiming what a kind, don't go around complaining we're a kind and welcoming community that's just the best one ever, and then immediately tell, no, those guys over there, we don't want them. Go away. Frig off. Just like, because let's open our arms and be nice and show these newcomers the best time that we can. Let's kill them with kindness. At the best way I can put it, really. Just be our best selves. Show them that there's something worthwhile to come here for. Expect the best of them and give them the chance to live up to that. And, like, you know, if worse comes to worse, the GMs will put the ban hammer down on them. They'll leave. They won't like it here. They'll go. And, you know, they'll have had their experience. But just don't close the doors just out of petty, butthurt tribalism. Or, you know, from stuff that people you've made up in your head that may not actually exist. You know? Just be positive. Put positivity. Put good energy out into the world instead. That's all I want. That's all I want in the midst of all of this discussion. It's just I want things to be just a little bit better when it all comes down to it. All right? All right? All right. So, in the end, I suppose it is what it is. This sudden rush of enthusiasm, you know, this shift in the tides, this song in the air, is bigger than just you and me as players of video games. It's years of work and years of struggle and joy and disappointment, all just combining to shift one of the tectonic plates of gaming, and we're just riding out the resulting earthquake. So let's try to be good to each other in the meanwhile, eh? We've got a while to go until Endwalker hits in the fall, and I don't know about you, but I want that moon. You see that moon up there? This moon? I want that to be packed, just right full of people. I don't care where those people came from. I just want them here, crowding the place out. It's gonna be great. Yeah.